All right, what to do, what to do. My name's Hans, and welcome to my brand new Lego YouTube channel. I thought I'd start off this video with presenting you my sig fig. So that's me. I have currently long, shaggy hair, and that's because of quarantine. And I have a plant, and I also have a plant mister bottle, so I can water my plants. Yay! I love Legos, and as you can see in the background, I definitely love plants, and I also like the color teal. This channel is going to be about Legos and all my mocks and creations. And in the background, you're just going to see a bunch of my plants, and hopefully it releases a bunch of happy endorphins in your happy little brains, as much as it does for mine. And you're probably also going to see a lot of teal bricks in my sets. So a little more background about my YouTube channel, and it's obviously going to be geared towards all the Lego mocks and creations and remocks that I'm going to be building or have built already. I've got quite a few actually. But the primary thing is going to be a Lego city that I'm planning on building. A little more background about my Lego city. I decided to call the city Paradisa. And for those of you who are super Lego enthusiasts, you'll recognize that theme from a bunch of Lego sets in the early to mid 90s. Now you can probably guess why I called it Paradisa. Plants and tropical vibes. So my city is going to be set in a tropical environment. It's going to have tons of plants, not just because plants are awesome, but because it's also environmentally friendly city. Now, one other exciting detail about my Lego city is that it's going to be set in the future. It's going to be sometime around 2060. It's going to have all the things that I think are going to make a city really function really well. So stay tuned, because as I build my Lego city, I'm going to be unveiling some very interesting characteristics of that city that make it fun and unique. Today's video is actually going to be on the very first building that I've created so far, my Paradisa Hospital. Okay, and here is Paradisa Hospital. As you can see, it's an extrapolation on the Lego set from 2018 City Hospital 60204. Now, when that set first came out, I was really impressed with just the architecture. It just has a very modern look. It's got the large glass windows, it had the sliding door, it had that red column going up, and the sloped roof tiles at the start of every floor. I really liked it, and right away I just saw a ton of potential to how I could expand on that. And I ended up buying several of those sets. So I kept with the main theme. I kept most of the design elements. I also included some new design elements to it. Okay, fun fact. You're only seeing a part of the hospital. I actually have 4 other floors that go above the first floor. And I also have a basement level. So I've got about 10 stories total, including the helipad. That would be 9 levels above the ground floor and 1 level below. So my plan here is to release several videos. This very first video is going to show you what I have here now, and the second video will be on the interior of these 5 floors. A third video, I'll unveil the other 4 floors as well as the basement level, and probably do the interiors on those all in one video. And then a fourth video will be on the ambulance and the helicopter. Alright, so here's the basics. It's on a 48 by 48 base plate. It's mostly symmetrical, although there are key details that make it unique from left to right, front to back. And I've got dual red columns. It's got 2 elevators. One is a staff elevator and one is a public elevator. The staff elevator goes all 10 levels, and the public elevator only goes 6 levels from ground floor up to the 6th floor. Okay, so I'm going to do a walk around on each floor on the outside, and I got my building to spin using these wheels. It's kind of funny. I tried building a turntable, and that definitely didn't work out because of the weight of this hospital. And even then, you can see these wheels are seriously hurting from the load. But they're doing good. It will walk around on me a little bit, so if this hospital drifts over and I have to reset the video. Starting with the ground floor, you'll see the base is quite thick. It's not built on an actual base plate, and that's because there's a basement level below it. Now, one thing that's unique about the first floor is that the left and right sides are actually flush with the full 48 studs. Whereas all the subsequent floors, the windows are recessed one stud back, and you've got the sloped tiles at the beginning of each level. Now on the front of the building, I did do the recessed one stud back with the starting of the sloped bricks. Also, the overall layout is that the corners are notched in 8x8. And as you can see, I've got full glass windows. Entrance has dual sliding doors, and this was actually taken from the Lego Friends Hospital double sliding doors. I do have these arch pieces going up. I'm not too sure about that. I may change that later, just because it doesn't quite match the straight angular features of this architecture. So it does look kind of a little out of place. Now, one thing that's missing that is on the second floor is the entrance canopy. On the second floor, the roof actually extends out and overhangs the entrance. So it does look a little naked. Also, FYI, this is actually the 6th floor, 7th floor, 8th floor, and the helipad is the 9th floor. So one thing unique that was not in the Lego City Hospital set is the use of this inside corner slope brick. When the windows transition to a linear column, I decided to use these just for extra architectural aesthetic. Obviously, because this is a tropical city, this is a tropical hospital, I've got tropical trees. This is actually my tallest tree of the whole set. All right, moving over to the right side. I do have a vertical column here. In the Lego City set, they terminated the corner of a building with a vertical white column here. And because this is where the elevator is, this is the public elevator, I wanted the occupants of the elevator to be able to see all the way through the whole entire corner, but I wanted to keep this vertical column, so I made it all glass. And this is unique to this elevator only. Now in the original set, the windows would be terminated with a gray bar with the 2 grills. You can see that here and here, and I carry that theme throughout the hospital. One noticeable difference is that these 3 sets of windows, I do not have that. And that was just because I really wanted to have all 3 glass windows rather than having 2 and then having like 2 of the 1x2 glass pieces. It's only unique to this side of the building. Wherever there is a gray bar, I've added a bunch of ferns growing. So again, because this is a green city, this is an eco-friendly city, the city initiative is that all buildings must have as many plants as possible. I have a sliding door there, and this is actually taken from the original Lego City Hospital set. And of course, this is the back of the building, so there is there's no main entrance here, and it's all glass windows. So wherever there's just blank wall, I've got all glass windows going around the corners, just all glass. And this is where the staff elevator is. It's a much larger elevator, and that's because it's got to be able to carry people on stretchers and a full load of hospital staff, as well as maintenance and new equipment being installed and stuff like that. So I did not do the see-through glass. I wanted to keep that feature unique to the public elevator. However, the staff elevator is also a glass elevator, and they got full view of the city on all 9 levels above ground. So let me do a quick demo of the elevator. All right. I'll stop it right there. You can see a couple of nurses in there. Now both elevators are designed to be high-speed elevators. It's got to go 10 floors. So what I've done is I've run a big gear on a little gear, and it comes out to be approximately 80% of a hand crank revolution equals 1 floor. Okay, moving on. So I think we're ready to talk about the 2nd floor. So here's a good spot where you can visualize me using the inside corner on the roof tile. Okay, and actually this is the 6th floor. Now one thing I forgot to mention is that the 1st floor is the walk-in ER, it's got the public elevator, and it also has a dining area with a cafe inside. Now the 6th floor is the long-term patient care as well as the cancer department. The 7th floor is a staff-only level, and it has got offices. It's got the main office for the director. It's got a conference room. It's got a lunch break room. It's got a locker and changing room. And the 8th floor is the garden rooftop as well as the maintenance department. So on the rooftop, it's all about taking care of the plants, growing the plants. And then on the 9th level is the helipad. Now the 6th floor is the first balcony that appears. So I set the building wall back, and the balcony just sits over the top of the previous floor. It does not stick out from the main building. I really like the glass wall created for the balcony. It's just an area for people to go out and enjoy the view, enjoy the sun, enjoy the plants, and relax. So there's chairs and tables up there. Now, because of the front wall of the sixth and seventh floor are pushed back, that means the red columns needed to be sloped backwards, and I think it adds a really cool visual element. So here you can see the red column sloped back. Okay, so the sixth floor is the last floor for the public elevator, because the seventh floor is a staff only level. So this is the last floor that you're going to see the glass corner. And then after that, once it transitions to the seventh floor, it just goes into a regular glass corner. And moving around to the back, the balcony's the same. So I can talk about the seventh floor now. It has an even smaller balcony, and just within the width of that balcony, the front wall of that floor is actually recessed inwards. So the floor plan layout actually kind of has a hourglass layout. And again, I use the glass railing for the balcony. There's 2 chairs and a table up there. I got more ferns growing on this back side of the building. More ferns. Now I've added some tropical life, so you can see a chameleon here. And I forgot to mention there is a white bird on the 2nd floor. All right, let's start with the 8th floor, the rooftop / gardening department, maintenance. And I got my sig fig over there, looking down, little afraid of heights right there. Over here, there is a chameleon hiding in the green leaves. If you can't see him, he's doing his job really well. I got a couple of parrots flirting with each other. The gardener has got a wheelbarrow with some scissors and a new plant. Now each elevator shaft has a large ventilation fan. The elevator shafts are used as ventilation for the entire building. And I've got my little hand crank up there. As of yet, I have no plans to motorize the elevator. I did make an axle stick out of the side, although there really isn't any room to put a motor at the moment. Now, another unique feature to this building is the railing. I didn't want to do a full glass railing like I did on the balconies, and I came up with this castle-like glass and slope architecture. So moving to the back, the red columns are unique to the back because of the fact that the maintenance building is moved towards the back of the building. And so the red columns will slope up to the 8th floor, and then they go vertical straight up. And I actually really like that. And they stop right at the top of the helipad. So we've got more ferns on the backside there. Now, one thing I forgot to mention on the front side is the garage door. Now that opens up and that allows the maintenance and the gardeners to bring their equipment in and out with ease without having to go through a small door. And now moving up to the helipad, it's pretty simple. It just has an elevator and a landing pad. I've got dual lights up there. And then on top of the elevator lifting mechanism, you'll see on the hand crank that I've added a wind turbine up there. So all my buildings in Paradisa City are going to have wind turbines that generate electricity, especially on windy days. And I've also got a paramedic up there waiting for the arrival of a helicopter with his wheelchair there. All right, well that's it, guys. That is the first video of my Paradisa Hospital. This is the stunted short version. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm excited to show you guys more, and if you guys liked my Paradisa Hospital, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'm always interested to hear what other people's ideas are, and I hope you guys will like a lot of my creations. I got a lot I'm looking forward to showing you guys, and thank you so very much for watching. Check you guys later.